Today is the last Sunday of the liturgical year, with the celebration of the solemnity of Christ the King. If we want to celebrate this kingship meaningfully, we need to ask ourselves, is Jesus truly our King? And has Jesus' kingdom, his rule of love and justice, established on this earth? It is important right from the outset that we discard the notion of kingship in worldly terms. The kingship that Jesus has come to establish is not that of tyranny or that of despotism. The notion of kingship in the Bible is very different from that of the world. So this king does not live in the palace. This king is always living in the midst of his people, always journeying with them. He was at the center of his people so that he had an overview of any sheep that could be led astray. This king does not live in comfort, but he is one with his people in their struggles, in their sufferings, always seeking to elevate their standards of living. Most kings in the world, they want to be kings forever. They are always afraid of others who might take over their throne. They will destroy all their opponents. But Jesus as our King, he wants us all to be kings with him. By virtue of our baptism, we share in the kingly office of Christ. One of the most important functions of a king is always to unite the people together. Everyone is important to the king because the task of a leader is to bring about unity, especially among the different groups that have their own interest. Because of relativism, everybody's view is the right view. Everybody's views is the best view. And so it's very difficult for a leader to try to align everybody together. This is the real challenge of leadership today because authority is no longer respected. Today you cannot use juridical authority to get things done. You need to use persuasion. You need to use diplomacy to get people work together. We are called to be servant king, a king that looks after the people, especially the marginalized and the poor, serving the poor in humility and with compassion. A leader without compassion will be a bad leader. A leader must learn to feel with his people, with their sufferings, with their struggles. Let us not think that these people need necessarily be the physically hungry. Those who are hungry today, they are hungry for God. That's the most important thing we should give to these people. We need to give them God, the ultimate purpose of life, so that they have hope. They are hungry. That's why their hearts are restless. They are hungry for food because they are longing for love. Today, many of us, we lived without love because people are concerned only about what we can produce. They do not love us for who we are. The strangers are not necessarily people far away. The strangers could even be your parents, your elderly parents that you have abandoned, your siblings, your next door neighbor, your community. These are the strangers at the backyard that we have overlooked. And we are going all over the world to save everyone. neglecting people in our own homes. Those who are sick today, again, not necessarily physically sick, they are sick in mind. They are sick in their heart. And those who are in prison, not necessarily physically in prison, they're imprisoned by hatred, unforgiveness. And these are the people that we are called to tend to. And my dear brothers and sisters, if we want to do this, we must first and foremost be king ourselves. To be a real king is to be king over sin and death. So long as we are ruled by our passions, so long as we are ruled by sin, we are not kings. That's why people in the world say they are free. In truth, they are slaves. When you are addicted to drinks, to smoking, to sex, and to gambling and all these things, you are a slave. You are not a king. A king is one who has control over himself. And most of all, a king is one who is not frightened of death, because he does not believe in death. He believes in life, resurrection. That's why he has no fear. A man who does not fear death is a man who is truly king of himself, because he knows that if he has lived a good life, a clear conscience, if he has expended his life totally for the service of others, there is no reason to cling on to physical life, because we know that our life ultimately is with God. Those who fear death are those who live selfish life. That's why they're afraid to let go, because they only think of themselves. Those of us who are ready to die means to say that we have lived the fullness of this life on earth, and we are ready to enter into the greater life ahead of us. So my dear brothers and sisters, if you want to exercise kingship today, there is no other way unless you make Jesus your king. Unless Jesus is the center of your life. That is why Jesus has come to be a king, not of territory, to be king of our hearts. Jesus is a king not to control us, to dominate us, but to set us free. So if you desire this kingship, let us come to Jesus. And Jesus will make us kings all over this earth. Kings of love, of mercy, of compassion, of unity.